In this video today, we are going to go over the simplest way to run ads to generate high quality booked appointments for you or your sales team. And we are going to go over the exact ads that we currently have running in addition to ones that we have been running for the past 6 years now that are responsible for generating millions inside of our businesses. Whether you're a seasoned ad veteran and you've been running ads for years, or you are a beginner wanting to launch your first ad to help you get some more appointments for your business, you are going to be able to learn the simple framework we use to generate high quality appointments for our business. So again, whether you're a beginner or you are a seasoned expert, you are going to get something out of this video. So let's jump into our ad account and I can show you the results that we are currently getting in just one of our businesses with this exact ad framework. You can see this is just one company. We have multiple different ad sets that we run, and in the future we will definitely do a video on how we actually do our media buying for our agency. But just to show you a little bit of the results, we don't use Facebook lead forms. In a different video that I'll link to at the end of this, we do go over our exact landing page that we do use to qualify leads, generate the name, phone, email, and then book them on our sales team's calendar. But we don't use lead forms just because we want quality coming into our business. But you can see right here, on average, we're generating qualified leads for anywhere from $20 up to $50 for this specific business. But what's super nice about this is the way that we have our ads set up is it's sustainable, it's reliable, and it's consistent month over month, which allows us to hire a sales team. They're closing leads and allows us to scale. The biggest thing with these results is, are these the cheapest leads in the world? Absolutely not. I'm not here to tell you that I can get you $1 to $2 leads, but what I can tell you is that these leads are converting into appointments at about 70 to 80%. And those appointments actually show up about 60% of the time, and we're closing 30% of those people that show up. We're not here to just get all these cheap, crappy leads and flooding our sales team and our accounts with just all of these people that are not actually ready to buy our services. So these are the results we've gotten. You can see even here, if I go back 30 days, we can take a look and see again, these ads have been crushing it. And yes, are there some that are getting a higher cost per lead? Absolutely. But that's why we test. That's why we launch different campaigns. And we do find our winners, again, like getting $20 to $30 qualified leads. But this is just our ad account. Let's actually jump into the structure of these ads and show you exactly how you can launch these in under 5 minutes. These are the simplest ads in the world. You don't have to get on camera. It's not a video ad. You don't need anything crazy to actually produce these. All you need is a Canva account and Facebook Ads Manager, and you will be up and running these ads, again, almost within 5 minutes. So I'm going to break down exactly why these ads are something that we have been using the last 6 years that have literally generated millions for our businesses. And looking at it, of course, they are just the simplest ads in the world, but they work, they're consistent, and they're easy to scale. So one of the biggest things I will start with is the creative piece. And one of the things that I will say is we have tested video, we've tested carousel, we've tested short form, we've tested long form video. All of those different tests have always taken us back to still image, single image ads, because they work, number one. And number two, it gets the point across to people that are buying that this is what we do, this is who it's for, and this is how we can help. Let's break down this ad and show you why every single part of this ad matters and is super important in terms of why it's bringing in qualified individuals, but it works time after time after time. And it's super easy to scale because I can make 100 different variations of this ad in Canva in under, an hour, 2 hours. And I literally have creatives for months and months and months. And what's super nice about these ads too is they just don't die. Obviously, you have some that win, you have some that lose, but over time, they're very consistent and easy to scale. So starting off, we have our main image. And the biggest thing with our image is, number one, we are showing who our target audience is. So this is clearly for insurance agents, and we're putting our offer right on the ad. Get 30 policies guaranteed for your insurance business. and then learn how to add 20K in annual premiums using this formula. So the ad is very simple. It's catching people's attention. Our target audience is insurance agents. Says that in bright green bold letters. And that is one of the strategies with single image ads, is that we are putting on the actual image who our target audience is in some kind of bright colors, whether it's green, red, blue, whatever it might be. And then after we have our target audience on the ad, you're simply going to put your offer right on the actual ad. So for this specific company, it's get 30 guaranteed policies for your insurance business. If you're working with marketing agencies, you might say, marketing agency owners, I guarantee you 10 plus clients every single month with our 4-step formula, something like that. And then simply a call to action underneath that's learn how you can add X, Y, and Z to your business using X, Y, and Z, using this formula. And it's that simple. It doesn't have to be some kind of crazy Pablo Picasso ad where you're just adding all these graphics, all these unique designs. Because at the end of the day, if I go into Canva and I make, I'm scrolling through Canva, I'm looking at templates, I'm like, okay, I like that one. And then I make a couple variations of it. I find another template, I edit it, make variations. For whatever reason, time after time after time, it's the crappy ads that are almost on the borderline of like, am I going to use this or am I not going to use this? It's always the crappy ads, the ones you don't expect to perform, that are the ones that actually perform. And simple is better, because at the end of the day, when somebody's scrolling on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, whatever it might be, we even run these still image ads on TikTok and YouTube shorts. You have a fraction of a second to catch somebody's attention. And when it's bright, big, and bold on the actual image, this is who it's for. This is what we can do for you. It's a simple yes or no. Am I going to click on this and actually learn a little bit more about what this offer is? Or if they're not your target market, they're going to know right away that this ad isn't for me. But if I have a video without any headlines and people are scrolling and they see a video that looks cool, they might get 30 seconds through that video and realize that they're not actually the target market for that specific video. And then not only are you paying Facebook, but you're telling Facebook, hey, this person watched half of my video, I'm going to show it to more people. So it's a very easy way to get cheap leads from people that are legitimately your target market and actually interested in your services. We call it spear phishing. You're going right for the kill. You're not pulling somebody in with some crazy hook and making them go through some kind of video or whatever. It's very simple. This is what we do. This is how we can help. And this is what we're going to do for you. So we do the exact same thing for the headline. It's just going to be a simplified version of whatever you have on your ad. So the biggest thing here is we always add some kind of emoji just because it does catch people's attention. And then again, some kind of variation of your offer, which is the 30 more policies. And then we do like to add some kind of risk reversal, whether it is on the image or if it's in the headline saying something, or your money back, guaranteed, 5-star rated, something like that. So your actual image and your headline are going to be the biggest factor if your ad works or if it doesn't work. We've literally had ads where we tested out just a one line of copy versus a crazy drawn out copy. And to be honest with you, everybody is like, oh, I'm the greatest copywriter in the world. And they write paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs for their copy. But at the end of the day, it's all about getting your message across as fast as possible. So we're just going straight to the point. We connect you with policy seekers. We vet them. We set up meetings, and then we stay on top of them with calls, texts, and emails. And it is that simple, because at the end of the day, we're saying, hey, this is our 7-figure growth formula. This is exactly what's inside the growth formula. Click down below, get started. And then again, they're going to that landing page that I will link at the end of the video that is converting them, that is qualifying them, converting them, and then turning them into an appointment. And you can see people like these. They don't get hate. Nobody's clowning on the way they look. Obviously, if you have a spelling error or something like that, people are going to point it out. But that's the crazy part too, is we've ran these still image ads with spelling errors, with things spelt, with things that are out of place or wrong, and people don't care, because the point of the image is to hook your ideal audience in, tell them exactly what you're going to do. They don't overanalyze the creative. They don't overanalyze the ad. They're simply like, yes, this is of interest to me. They click learn more. Then they're filling out our qualification application and booking a call. So That is as simple as it gets. That is our breakdown of our ad. It converts time after time after time. We have been running ads like this, again, for almost 6 years now. At this point, it is the reason we've been able to scale our businesses so fast and so hard without having to rely on somebody getting on camera or having these big film productions. We've gotten pitched, I won't name who, but big production companies that are willing to make us ads, saying, hey, come in, pay us $50K, and we'll do these crazy commercial-like ads. And although they look great and they might be good for retargeting and just showing that you're a big, legitimate company, they don't convert. And that is the bottom line. And at the end of the day, it's how can I get somebody that's qualified on the phone as cheap as possible? This is how you do that. It's these simple ads, and there's something that you can go into Canva, find a couple templates that you like, change up the way things are shaped and look, put your target market on there, put your actual offer on there, and then get them launched. Literally, again, within less than an hour, even if you're a newbie and you don't know how to go into Facebook Ads Manager and launch these efficiently. And I will touch on the biggest mistake that I see people making with their ads, and it's not having a clear call to action inside the creative. I see a lot of people will put perks, they'll talk a lot about their service, they'll talk a lot about this is what we can do, we're 5-star rated, we have great support. But at the end of the day, you need to communicate your offer to your target market. And that's the biggest mistake I see people running time after time after time. Now, there's 1,000 different ways that you can run ads. And yes, people have had success with specific types of creatives, videos, different images without any headlines on there. And you hear about people having success with those specific images. But at the end of the day, if you want something that's consistent, proven to work, and that you can repeat time after time, it's going to be a single image ad with your offer right on the ad. And again, going back, that's the biggest mistake people have, is if you're not able to communicate what you do effectively on your ad and the results that you can get somebody. Again, if you look at this ad, you can see our results, 30 guaranteed policies for your insurance business. That is the result. That's our offer. That's what we're going to get people if they come in and decide to work with us. And if I went and put on here that, oh, we use Facebook ads and Google ads to get them policies, I'm advertising my service. I'm not actually advertising the end result. And that's part of your offer. Your offer needs to be specifically the benefit that somebody is getting out of my specific service. And if I said on here, grow your insurance business with Facebook ads or Google ads, less people are going to click on it because there's also a curiosity behind, oh, how are they doing this? And then it gives us time and the ability to actually explain what we're specifically doing, versus if somebody saw our ad that said we get, insurance agents policies with Facebook ads and Google ads. Number one, they're already going to have a preconceived notion that, Facebook ads may or may not work, Google ads may or may not work, but we're getting lumped into this category of, an advertiser. Part of the reason that these work is that people don't know about our specific service yet. They know that we can do X, Y, and Z for them. We know that this is for these type of specific people. And then again, it buys us time and allows us inside of the landing page to educate and then qualify based off of those. So again, biggest mistakes is number one, not putting your offer or any kind of target market, text, calling out your specific market on the actual ad, and then also putting the wrong text and wrong things and information on the ad. Because at the end of the day, it's who am I working with, who am I targeting, and what's the end result? And then from there, they can click in. And the reason people will book an appointment with you is to find out more about how you can actually help them. And it's very hard to convince somebody that you can do something for them if you're just telling them how you're going to do it. Because then it comes down to, okay, show me the proof. And then you get into having this crazy big landing page where you have to have all this proof and all this convincing evidence that what you do works. Whereas if I keep that a little bit back, I keep that hidden, I don't talk about how we do this for them, we just tell them what we can do for them, it keeps that curiosity peaked in their brain. You don't let out the dopamine hit of like, oh, okay, so this is what they do, this is how they do it. it doesn't give them a reason to book. It doesn't give them a reason to actually go through and see if they do qualify for your services. So those are the biggest mistakes that I see people running ads making. And if they just change things up and they followed this simple formula, the results that they would get would be significantly better. Let's pop into our ads manager and talk about targeting for these ads very quickly, and specifically the things that I see wrong with a lot of people that are trying to do targeting. Now, this is not going to apply to somebody doing e-commerce ads where you just have a single behavior or a single interest in here because you need to hyper analyze absolutely everything. This is for people that are running call funnels, that are running ads to a specific audience. And the biggest mistakes I see people making with targeting is, bottom line, overthinking it. A lot of people are plugging in just lead lists, doing lookalike audience. They're running ads like e-commerce ads, and they're just hyper analyzing everything, where in reality, I just want to get my ad in front of my target audience. So, and the other big thing too is Facebook's AI algorithm, whatever you want to call it, gets better and better and better every single day, every single minute. It's always improving. And Facebook's goal, if you reverse engineer how the actual ads manager works, Facebook's goal is to get people hooked on advertising. So it's in Facebook's best interest to get somebody results quickly. So there's no reason for them to make targeting super hard for people to get results. And it's in their best interest to, even if I put open targeting and I don't have any interest, Facebook is going to use their AI. It's going to look at my ad. It's going to see, okay, it says insurance agents on the image, and it's going to show that ad to insurance agents, because at the end of the day, Facebook wants me to continue my campaign. It wants me to continuously spend money with them. And I'm not going to do that if it's not getting results. So it's in the AIs, the algorithms, Facebook's in general best interest to actually get me results. So we run all of our targeting as native targeting, which means we're just using the demographic and interests inside of Facebook. And a lot of times it's very simple. It's just employers, job titles. Sometimes we'll get into interests and specific behaviors depending on what company it is and depending on who we're trying to target. Again, but for a call funnel where you're targeting a specific type of individual, open is going to be better. Just plugging in some demographics, leaving the age wide open, gender wide open. One little trick that we do is making sure that we have the English selection for language, because that is one thing that is kind of a trick you could say that you should worry about, is at making sure that you're targeting people in the right country, that's in the right language, because at the end of the day too, we want to make sure that you're getting your ideal target market across the board. And then again, they have their Advantage Plus place. They have their Advantage Plus audience for a reason, and you just let Facebook's AI take over. And as long as you're telling it, okay, in the targeting, it's seeing that, okay, I'm trying to clearly target insurance agents. I have all of these job titles in here. And then on the ad, it says, insurance agents. Facebook's like, okay, we're going to show this ad to insurance agents. So that's it. We don't worry too much about audience conversions, things like that, because at the end of the day, this is just going to be estimates. One thing I will say, it's definitely better to go broader than to go more narrow, unless you're really trying to target somebody or do retargeting or something like that. It's always going to be best just to have a broader audience so the campaign doesn't die quickly, your frequency increases, and the ads just get too expensive when your audience is too low. And that's what happens when your creatives just die super fast and you have to turn over creatives and launch new ad sets day after day after day if your audience is too low. So keep it broad, keep it very simple, let Facebook's algorithm do the work. And then the other thing I will touch on are placements. Now, this is something that I do play around with a little bit. And a lot of times we just use the Advantage Plus placements, recommended, show it everywhere. And sometimes we will do manual placements. And that's really going to come down to media buying. And sometimes we get better results with manual. Sometimes we get better results with Advantage Plus. That's going to really come down to you personally, how you like to do things. It really is 50-50 split. I used to just run manual because that's how I taught. That's what I was taught. That's how I saw it really working. Most of our conversions came from newsfeed and reels and shorts and stories and that kind of stuff. And then obviously, with Advantage Plus, you have a few different other avenues where people are seeing your ad and clicking. but this has also worked for us as well. So I can't sit here and say we only do manual placements. That's our secret, because we flip flop, we do both. And the best thing to do in terms of placements is just test. And starting off, again, Advantage Plus is absolutely going to work. Analyze and see, okay, I got 20 leads and 15 of them came from the news feed, and I'm paying $15 per lead from the news feed. I'm going to launch my next ad set just news feed. And, again, you can go from there. You can get into making different creatives for different placement types. So you might have a longer creative for stories and reels. You might have a different creative for newsfeed. But at the end of the day, it's all about keeping it simple, making image ads, launching them to a broad audience. That's how you're going to flood your landing page, which we'll link to at the end of the video. They're going to go through the landing page, qualify, book, and your sales team is going to be happy.